So today I want to talk about integration into our work practices. And by that I mean our processes, projects and communications. Now this one is non-negotiable, right? If we can't deliver workload through these tools, then we shouldn't use them. So integration through work practice. So what's ideal as you're going through this process? Well, we want it to be integrated through all our work practices, right? Across all parts of the project lifecycle, as part of the processes we use, and as an integrated component of our communication. So it's another channel that we align with our others, right? And it just becomes an incidental component to how we get stuff done through our everyday working lives. So what does that look like? Well, from a process perspective, we could have a group to support. So this is where people start to log their own IT queries, was one that we did. Or you're having chatbots so that people can ask questions and have that information brought to them. Project-wise, it's about putting our project plans up there and start to managing our stakeholders. So we've got groups around that sort of thing, and then mapping it against the project lifecycle. So each of the stages, how can we do it? And from a communication standpoint, it's about aligning our communication. So social becomes another channel, right? We want these other communication channels, be it email, be it intranet. We want them to start to funnel activity in. So it's about integrating all these components together so that we're doing more and more and more of our work, pumping more intelligence into the community. So how do you know if it needs work? Well, realistically, either work is totally absent from the platform, which happens, it's not good, or maybe there's some instances where it's discussed, but it's kind of incidental. It's not really, it's been spoken about, not really transacted against. Or, there's a couple of things happening. It's by exception, right? Or you do two of the three, so you do the projects and you maybe comms, but you're not doing processes through it. So what we're looking for here is how prolific is this tool being used to get stuff done that is meaningful in the organization. That's really what we're looking for here. That's the type of integration that we want. So what's the impact if we don't get this right? Well, essentially the desire to use social is decreased, right? It's less relevant for us. And content loses its real-time relevance. So if we've got up-to-the-minute information, if we've got purposeful information that I need to get stuff done, I'm going to be in there, right? But if that's gone, then suddenly it's set separately to the workflow. Key events have been bypassed, participation decreases, and users are forced to navigate more barriers to use. So the incentive to use it actually decreases, right? We're making it hard. So we want to make it easy. We want to make it part of the flow of the things that we're already doing. So what are the causes of this? Well, usually it's lack of time, it's poor education or a lack of understanding, there's poor planning, or there's no permission to use it for work things. And so it can be any one of these things or combination of these that stop us from actually nailing it. So what do we do about it? How do we respond? Well, firstly, speak to leaders and get permission. That's the first thing. And look to form some experiments around existing projects. Projects are a real sweet spot. If you're going to manage a project, you might as well do it in social. Do it in its own group. Look to bring existing communications also into the social space. So if you've got CEO comms, have them do it through the social platform only, right? Map processes to determine how social can start to enhance those existing processes is another good one. And the last one is introduce working out loud. So working out loud really is a proactive measure where you're letting people know what it is that you're working on ahead of time before you've been prompted. Now that one feels awkward at the beginning, but it's actually the thing that you can do the easiest probably out of those other ones. And it's going to get you a lot of effect. But these are the things that we look to do when we want to start to drive change in how it's used. A couple of tips though as you're going through this process. For internal support groups, put a link in the members' email. So if you're doing a self-serve IT sort of group, make sure that you've got a link to that group in people's email signatures within that team, right? Allows you to let people know that it exists. Look for processes that are company-wide as well, because this allows you to get a bigger catchment, like user support, project management. Sometimes communications usually go company-wide though. Once processes are mapped too, look for the pain points. If you can actually start to use social to alleviate pain points, it increases people's incentive to use it. When bringing pre-existing communications into social, so if it's say the CEO update, for instance, and maybe that used to go out by email, if you're going to bring that into social, what I recommend that you do is, because people are used to the email, send them, put it into social still, send people an email saying that the latest update is now posted to social, and have the link that people can actually go to, so that you're acknowledging the existing behavior, you're meeting them where they're currently spending time, but you're starting to build that or deflect that behavior into online spaces. And the last one is, when you're running projects in a group, right, pay special attention to the artifacts that are created. So meeting minutes, project plans. If you can bring those things into the group, it really pushes people to have to go there to get the most up-to-date information, so that they'll overcome those barriers. Hope you found that useful. There's more information at BITLEaccelerate.com, or if you've got a question, please reach out through Twitter or by email. My name is Scott Ward. Have a great day. Thanks, guys.